Everybody uses a laptop and or a smartphone. And the question has arisen, is there room for a third category of device in the middle? Better than the laptop, better than the smartphone. But we think we've got something that is. And we call it the iPad.
If you've ever thought about joining the Apple ecosystem, your first thought was probably, let's get an iPhone, right? I get it, it's Apple's flagship, it's everywhere, and for most people, it's the obvious first step. But here's the thing, that might not actually be the best place to start. Today, I want to make the case for why the iPad should be your first Apple device, not just for productivity and not just for creativity, but because it honestly is the most versatile, joyful, and value-packed Apple product that you can buy right now. The iPad is like Apple's Swiss Army knife, and hands down my favorite gadget of all time. It's part computer, part sketchbook, part entertainment hub, and all wrapped up in this sleek, portable form factor that just fits into your life. For newcomers to Apple, it's the most welcoming entry point. You get the full Apple experience with iCloud, FaceTime, iMessage, AirDrop, and seamless app integration without committing to a $1,000 iPhone or MacBook. And you might be wondering, well, if I haven't owned a Mac before or an iPhone, isn't there going to be a learning curve? Well, yes, but it's practically non-existent because you just pick it up and it feels instantly familiar. Whether you're switching from Android, Windows, or just starting fresh, everything just works. The user interface is simple, the gestures are natural, and iPadOS gives you that perfect balance between mobile ease and desktop capability. Now let's talk about creative individuals first, because this is where the iPad will really shine. Especially when you pair it with the Apple Pencil, it becomes an absolute dream machine. You can sketch, paint, storyboard, design, edit videos and pictures, and even produce music, all on a single slab of glass that fits right into your backpack. Apps like Procreate, Affinity Photo, and LumaFusion turn it into a professional creative studio. You don't need a MacBook or a Wacom tablet anymore. Everything's right here. And fun fact, every single video that you see on my channel has been edited on an iPad. From color grading to titles to exporting, all of it. iPads are powerful enough to handle 4K footage and portable enough that I can edit from the couch, an airport, or even while traveling. That is something that I can't comfortably do on a laptop. Now let's talk about students, because the iPad is equally game-changing for them as well. First things first, you've got a ton of great note-taking apps like GoodNotes, Notability, NoteShelf, or even Apple Notes, which is my favorite. And I actually did a whole video on how you can master Apple Notes and take it next level. You can check that video out in my channel. And with all these apps, they're great for handwritten notes, annotating PDFs, and organizing everything digitally. You can even have your textbook open on one side and your notes on the other, or juggle multiple apps at once. It's multitasking made simple. And when you look beyond classwork, the iPad's portability makes it the perfect companion. You're not lugging around a heavy laptop, charger, and notebooks. It's just this one device that handles it all: reading, writing, research, even Zoom classes. And the battery life is insane. You can go a full day of classes or study sessions without worrying about plugging it in. Now, I can't talk about the iPad without mentioning how much fun it is to use. Honestly, it's one of the best devices out there for just enjoying content. It's great for content creation and work, but it's also a great content consumption device. Watching movies or TV shows feels cinematic thanks to the beautiful liquid retina display, and if you've got one of the M series models, the performance is buttery smooth. And that tandem OLED display on the M4 iPad Pro, which may be overkill for many, is absolutely stunning. But honestly, the displays across the lineup are pretty good. Reading books or comics on it is also super comfortable. In fact, the iPad mini has completely replaced my Kindle. I did a whole video on that as well, so check it out if you haven't already done so. Then there's gaming. Whether you're into casual titles on Apple Arcade or console-level games, the iPad handles it all with ease. And let's be real, browsing through social media, going through the internet, watching YouTube videos, everything feels more immersive on that big, vibrant display. So whether you're winding down after work, relaxing on the couch, or killing time on a flight, the iPad becomes this personal entertainment hub that no other Apple product can really match. And you can manipulate everything with just a touch of your fingers, or get yourself a nice Magic Keyboard accessory for when you really want to be productive. Now let's talk about money, because this is where the iPad, I think, really stands out. Now, the all-new 11th generation iPad starts at just around $349, and even that model gives you an incredible experience, especially now with iPadOS 26. It's like owning a full computer for a fraction of the price. Now compare that to an iPhone 17, which costs a lot more, or a MacBook Air, which starts around $1,000. For less than half that, you're getting a device that can handle 80% of what most people need a computer for: web browsing, email, video calls, streaming, and even productivity. 80% is kind of a stretch here. I think for a lot of people, it might even be 100%. And when you throw in accessories like the Magic Keyboard or Apple Pencil, the iPad turns into a legitimate laptop replacement. And that's what I love most about the iPad, the flexibility. You could keep it simple and affordable, or deck it out into a powerhouse setup that rivals any laptop. And there's so many iPads to choose from, all the way from the mini to the A16 iPad to the iPad Air to the iPad Pro. Getting an iPad is like unlocking the door to Apple's entire ecosystem, regardless of which model you get. And once you have one, things like AirPods, Apple TV, or iCloud just start fitting into your life quite naturally. And if you decide to expand later, maybe grab a Mac or an iPhone, everything syncs instantly. Whether it's your notes, messages, Safari tabs, photos, it all flows together without you lifting a finger. Also, the iPad can be a great secondary display for your Mac. It's super duper cool, and it actually enhances your productivity. The best part is that the built-in keyboard and trackpad of your Mac will immediately work with the iPad itself. That is the power of Apple's ecosystem, and the iPad, in my opinion, is the best entry ticket into it. So if you've been thinking about joining Team Apple, don't feel pressured to start with an iPhone. The iPad gives you everything you need: the design, the software experience, the ecosystem, all in one versatile device. Also, as an avid iPad user, I swear by this beautiful sleeve from Comfyable. It looks super stylish, premium, and protects my iPad when I go to coffee shops and travel. I also rest my iPad on it so that the Magic Keyboard doesn't get dirty. It's only around like $25, comes in great premium colors, and I have the link to it in the description below. So whether you're a student, a creative, or just someone who loves consuming content, the iPad is hands down the best first step into Apple's world. And trust me, once you start using it, it won't be your last Apple product. At the end of the day, I want to know your thoughts. Do you enjoy the iPad as much as I do? Or do you think you're about to get your first iPad? Let me know in the comments section below. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more iPad and Apple content, and let me know in the comments as well, what was your first Apple device? Till then, see you in the next one.